Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Tuesday, January 30th. I am Michael Taylor, it says right there on the screen in case you're taking notes at home. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to enjoy this one. Let's start off with telling you that we got City of Hope's Dr. Jessica Chang coming in. She's going to be talking to us about pre and post rehab for cancer treatment. It's a new kind of system that they have in there, new kind of treatment, and she's got some great things to tell us about that for anyone who's facing cancer treatment and any family members that are supporting them. It's a great conversation we had there. You're going to look forward to that one. And then later on in the program, Jazz Lovers Club with Ron Rosenthal and Diane Lukic, and we're going to be talking about an upcoming show they have and the club itself. It's a little bit of a new club. They're going to tell us about it and how it came to be and all that fun stuff. Hey, let's get some stay informed information for you. And this is an important one. You know, I hate to be the one to say this one. I hate to bring the bearer of bad news, but if your dogs are going to poop, you have to scoop. That's the deal. You know, it's the law. Nobody's going to call 911 on you or anything like that, but really, it's required by law, and got a good long list of things that you should be making sure that you're doing, picking these things up for good reasons. But the bottom one, the very last one, it's just the right thing to do, right? If you own a pet, be responsible for that pet. It's no fun when people are out there on the trails and the sidewalks and seeing, you know, the poop right there. It's kind of a bummer for everybody. So if you're going to have the pet, make sure you're maintaining and keeping up after it. Village Services wanted us to tell you about that, and there you go. Now you know. All right, let's take a look at our weather outside, and we have got a storm on the way. So today and tomorrow are the days to get out there and go to the store, run some errands, go to the post office, whatever you're going to do, because Thursday you're going to want to batten down the hatches. Really, the rain's probably going to start late Wednesday evening, and this is a big one. We've got a big system coming down from the north, and it's going to pull in some subtropical moisture from the south. This is one of those kind of weak atmospheric rivers. That's what they call them, these atmospheric rivers. It's kind of a weak one, but still we're going to get about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So we're probably going to have some flooding, probably have lots of rain, and so it's going to be a day or a day and a half or so of rain. So make sure you're indoors for that and get all the things you need to do done before. Then Saturday we're going to clear out, but then next week more rain on the way. So it's coming, and so this is going to be a kind of a series, the first of a series of storms that are coming our way. Let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset while we're at it here. And we got some guys jamming out here on the lawn. Hopefully they're playing some old Dylan and Joan Baez protest songs, sticking it to the man, protesting the war, you know, the old days, remembering the old times. Sunrise was 6:48 a.m., sunset 5:19 p.m. Thanks, Ben Givens, for sending us this picture of the jam session out there on the lawn. If you'd like to send us a picture just like Ben did, well, you can do so. Send it to Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the photo, and we will put it on our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, let's take a look at some meetings, and after that, we're going to be talking to Dr. Jessica Chang from the City of Hope. Stay with us.
When we talk about cancer, we talk about how we're going to beat it. We talk about the 100 million lives impacted every year because of City of Hope's discoveries and our team of more than 1,600 cancer specialists, all dedicated to ending cancer and giving you hope.
Cancer is one of those very scary words and very scary diagnoses, but we're here to talk about how you can get through it with the most basic care and some rehab and make you feel good along the way, hopefully along the way. I want to introduce Dr. Jessica Chang from City of Hope. She is a cancer rehab specialist, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So in general, tell me, what is cancer rehab? Because it's not a term that most people are familiar with.
Yeah, so cancer rehab has to do with optimizing a person's ability to function throughout the cancer journey. Mm-hmm. So that means from diagnosis, during treatment, after treatment, and beyond. And when I say function, a lot of times it's linked with physical function, but there's also cognitive function, the way people are able to think, bathroom and bedroom activities. All of those have to do with activities and a person's ability to function.
Right, and people say that they have chemo brain, that little fog that goes on when they're in the middle of a chemotherapy treatment. But it's not just about the chemicals that are going in your body. Sometimes there's surgery, there's genuine rehab that has to go on if you've had a major surgery to remove a tumor or to do biopsies and things like that, right? So it kind of runs the gamut of all of those things.
Correct. So cancer treatment oftentimes has many different phases, different types of treatment. And each treatment, you can think of it as a marathon, like a huge stressor on your body. And the idea of cancer prehabilitation is doing rehab before the stressor. So gearing up the body, the mind, the spirit to be able to face that stressor.
So you come into the process pretty early then, right? Maybe at the very initial cancer diagnosis, before surgeries, before treatments begin, you're going to come in and say, here's what we're going to do to make sure this is as easy a process as it can possibly be with a cancer treatment, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm working to build. This is a new frontier within cancer care, is to have prehabilitation at the beginning. So that is what my goal is with City of Hope, is to build that functional optimization as early on as possible so that we can be there for the patients throughout the cancer journey.
What got you interested in this field? It's kind of an emerging field, like you said. It's pretty new. What made you say this is the track for me?
Great question. So I started off with an interest in healing in general, healing in terms of body, mind, and spirit. And when I found out about the field of physical medicine and rehab, also known as physiatry, I really fell in love with the musculoskeletal system, muscle, bones, joints, nerves, movement, and being able to help people do the activities they want to do. So much of medicine is the doctor telling the patient what has to be done.
Right.
But I love that I get to ask the question, what do you like to do? What do you want to do? And how do I make this work for you so that you can have the best quality of life?
Now, is it a bit of a combination of Eastern and Western approaches in terms of the rehab as well, right?
So the integrative medicine, what you're referring to, the Eastern and Western medicine, is a very natural part of rehabilitation. My whole focus is to help people function better. And if we think about, if acupuncture is going to help their pain or their range of motion, I'm all for that.
Right.
And so it's a very natural part to use everything that's available to help people do better.
And I've over the years, I feel like there's been this almost like two sides. So I'm going with the Eastern approach, or I'm going to Western medicine, and those kinds of things. They don't really need to be at odds, right? It's like we have documented case studies that say this approach can work here, approach can here. So there's that kind of merging of these two areas.
Right, and that's what I really love about working at City of Hope. We really have specialized oncology supportive services with integrative oncology, with myself, and we get to really find that harmony for the patient and to work collaboratively, not just within our team, but with the patient and with the patient's surroundings and family and environmental structure.
What are kind of some of the challenges in terms of when you sit down with a patient, or how you assess that, and how you can say, okay, here are the challenges you're going to face, and here's how I'm going to create a plan for you to have success as much as we can through this process?
I think every patient is very unique, and everyone has their own family, social situation, their background in exercise or lack of background. And there can be a lot of fear when it comes to the cancer journey.
Right.
And so it's not only, describing what might come, what services, what support is available coming up, but tailoring the plan to the person's unique situation. I can tell someone to exercise, that's easy for me to say, but the hard part is, how do I make it work for you, like feasible, long-term, fun, enjoyable, maybe incorporate the family, incorporate friends. How do I make it actually happen?
Right.
And the trick is, I can't make it happen in the end. It's up to the patient to do it.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing. the patient has to be able to trust the advice they're getting, you know? And when people hear that word cancer, sometimes they're in a fog for a couple days because they're just almost shell-shocked from that. And then you start getting stories, oh, I know somebody who did this, and that was great. I know somebody who did this. And so all the advice starts coming in. How do you build trust with a patient? Say, listen, I know you're getting a lot of stuff from a lot of people. Here's how we can kind of get you through this. How do you build that trust to begin with?
Yeah, building trust is extremely important. I think it starts with connecting with our oncology team and having their referral to me, who's I've been trained in rehab in the oncology setting specifically, and I think that's where the trust begins. Of course, a lot of it has to do with understanding their medical complexity, where they are in their cancer journey. Listening is extremely important. Listening and empowering the patient and connecting them with our cancer specialized physical therapists, occupational therapists, and knowing that we have great communication, I think that really helps patients feel like they can trust our rehabilitation team.
Right, and it's not like you're coming into this without knowing the other folks. And you guys have sat down probably at the cancer boards, you've heard what the oncologists are doing, you heard what the surgeons are doing, and so you already know the entire spectrum of what the treatment plan is, and that's where you come in and say, here's how I'm going to augment that and make that better, right? So they have an understanding that you're not just this isolated, you know, you're not living in a closed environment, you have this open world to all the other doctors and you know them.
You hit it right on the nail. Yeah, that connection, that teamwork, that communication is absolutely key.
What are some of the, you've been doing this for a while now, at least a year and a half at City of Hope, since it opened over there at the Cancer Center. And so what have you had some of the good stories that have come out of there? What are some of the stories you can say, hey, we started with this person and they were here and now they got to this point?
Right. I was just thinking about this patient on my way here. And so this was a rehab story where this lady had stem cell transplant. And then when she came to me, she was having difficulty chewing. Her activity wish was to eat pizza again. And
That's mine every day.
I cannot endorse that. But, you know, after several visits of decreasing some of her medications related to pain, nerve spasms, her head was able to clear up a little bit. I did some trigger point injections, instructed her on some exercises, and she came in saying, Dr. Chang, I can eat nuts again. And I just wanted to know if she had the pizza yet. And so she did not at that time, but then she also showed me, I was like, show me, roller coaster. And her shoulders were getting better. She was doing physical therapy, working very hard with them. And the next one was getting her balance, her feet neuropathy to improve. And so it was a complex kind of coordination, including medications, injections, rehab, several different places, but the most important element was how hard she worked.
Right. And that finish line, there was going to be pizza there, so there was a motivator.
Yeah, I was hoping she'd invite me.
The pizza party, come on. Talk a little bit about what prehab looks like in a treatment plan versus rehab looks like, and what the differences are. Obviously, we know the basic differences, but what are the big differences there?
Right, so the major difference is the timing. When we have a clear goal, whether it's surgery or stem cell transplant, there's a time limitation as to when the time we have to optimize the body and with exercise, nutrition, mental health. A lot of times there's barriers to exercise. I would say that would be the hardest one, whether it's a knee pain, a back pain, a balance issue, a motivation difficulty. There's so many challenges to exercise and the whole program that I love to troubleshoot these with people. So a lot of it is the same things. It's just a lot more focused and time sensitive.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. Okay, Dr. Jessica Chang from the Cancer Rehab Physician from City of Hope here in Orange County. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back. All right, we're going to get a little jazzy here, folks. From the Jazz Lovers Club, we welcome Ron Rosenthal and Diane Lukic. Thanks for joining us.
Nice
So
to meet you.
tell us about the club, Diane. It's pretty new, right? It's one of the newer clubs here in the village.
It is one of our newest clubs, and about a year ago I said to my husband, we have over 200 clubs here in Laguna Woods, but nothing devoted to jazz, and we
Okay.
love jazz. So I threw out the idea, put an ad in the Globe, and was astounded by the number of people who responded to it that said, yes, let's go for it.
Okay.
So that was the beginning. Our intention was just to get a handful of people together that wanted to listen to jazz, and we've had overwhelming amount of people. So we're very excited about this club.
Ron, you don't just listen to jazz; you perform jazz, right? And you kind of started doing shows during the pandemic here in the village, just kind of for fun outside, right?
Correct. Yeah, everything was closed down in the pandemic. So all of us musicians, I mean, people were like, on their couches going, what am I going to do? Our livings are stopped. So, I had to get out and play for everybody. So started doing that and sharing the love of music with everybody and getting everybody to come out. People would bring their lawn chairs. They'd even wear their masks if they felt like they needed to do that. We shared music with everybody during the pandemic, and then when things started to open up, we started playing at the clubhouses again.
Yeah, all the fun really begins, right?
Yeah.
Now, Dan, were you surprised at how many people responded? It was kind of, wow, who knew? I thought it was going to be a small gathering.
Beyond surprised. I was astounded, actually. So I happened to have a room in Clubhouse 1, and I decided, let's just put a concert on. Let's just see what happens. And I thought maybe 50 people would attend at the most. We had standing room only. We had, I would say, close to 200 people who attended our first concert.
That's just
so then we
terrific.
knew it was a need.
Yeah.
So you guys do kind of all sorts of jazz? Is it jazz fusion? Is it a little bit of everything that people enjoy?
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
Yep, there's not a one size fits all.
Right, especially for jazz, right? Because jazz is kind of this almost improvised, play as you go, figure it out, work out the tunes, work out the beats and rhythms.
Yeah, that's
do you,
right.
do you do a lot of that in your shows, Ron? Do you kind of go, okay, we're going to just kind of see where this goes, take it somewhere?
Yeah, well, we do a jazz fusion show. So we
Okay.
do pop jazz, we do smooth jazz, we do soundtrack jazz, we do instrumental compositions, we do songs, different things.
Yeah, and a lot of crossover big hits have been the jazz fusion kind of things, right? In terms of like the pop, on the pop side, I've certainly recognized a lot of jazz performers who have gone onto the pop side and had a lot of big hits, right?
Yes, yeah. You have crossover artists like George Benson
Right.
or people like that who've, popularized jazz and made it very accessible
famously.
to everybody.
You guys have a big show coming up later in February. Tell us about the show. Ron, you're performing. We got some other performers going on.
Yeah, I'm going to let Ron take the lead on that.
Oh, okay, Ron,
Sure,
you're in charge.
Yeah, well, I've got Andrea Miller singing. She's an internationally renowned singer who sings internationally, and she'll be there with us. I've got Kim Taylor, who's going to be playing sax, who's a phenomenal talent. Steve Swatworth on drums, and myself. I've played internationally, nationally, locally.
Okay.
So I'm bringing this group together to play.
And it's going to be over at Clubhouse 7, and it's going to be Thursday, February 15th. We're going to have standing room only again.
That's the wish. That's right. We put that out there. Standing room only.
And folks can go for more information, Jazz Lovers of Laguna Woods at gmail.com.
That's correct.
There we go. That should be simple enough for folks to find out more information. $7 at the door?
Boy, it's a best deal in the world.
$7, that's pretty
It
good.
is $7.
Yeah.
Yes. What a deal, isn't that? You don't have to drive anywhere. You're right here in Laguna Woods.
That sounds like a deal. So tell us a little bit about how you guys have gotten the word out. Is it just kind of been organic in terms of the club and the growth of it all?
Mm-hmm. Well, Facebook has been one of the things. Flyers that we put out. As a club, you're allowed to put out flyers, so those go out to all the clubhouses. People can walk
Okay.
around and pick up information about what's happening in the village there. Email lists. I've got an email list too, just for my stuff, which is castlemusiclive@gmail.com, and of course Diane's the Jazz Lovers Club. So yeah, email's good. So different ways.
Yeah, and I'd like to put a plug in for the Globe. We love the Globe. The
Everybody loves the Globe.
Everyone reads the Globe, and the Globe has been so good to us about giving us space and promoting. I think a lot of people come through the Globe.
Yes.
So when did you first start saying, like, discover jazz in your lifetime? You know, was it like at a young age? Did you come into it a little later in life?
Later in life, yes.
Okay.
I didn't become alive until I was about 50 years old, midlife transition. So how about you, Ron, since you're the musician?
Yeah, I started listening to jazz and playing jazz when I was around 12 years old. So yeah, it's a lifetime thing, you know, of exploration and improvisation and learning different
Who were
ways
like
to
the
play.
first, some of the first artists you listened to and you said, okay, this makes sense to me? Because jazz is not an easy thing to just jump into.
Yeah, it's true. Well, you know, I listened to Joni Mitchell, certainly Pat Metheny,
Okay.
and then associated artists, Wayne Shorter, of course, Herbie Hancock. So
right.
I got a chance to open for Herbie Hancock in concert, so I got
Did you
to hang
really?
out with one of my idols and play.
Wow.
So
Very
yeah,
cool.
That's very
those were
cool.
some of the artists I started listening to.
And when people come to a club, is it kind of a shared experience? Like everybody's talking about playing different songs and different music? Like do you meet monthly? Do you meet kind of regularly and just play music or have jam sessions and things
Well,
like
you
that?
know what? We do meet regularly. The first Thursday of every month, we meet from 4 to 6 over at the Performing Arts Center. And so it's a combination. So we really want to educate people. So we'll have a performer playing a little, saying, oh, this is this kind of jazz. And then we it's like jazz. We just see what evolves. But people share their experiences, what they really love in jazz, where they've been, and we plan little outings together because a lot of the women here really want a group to go with. So it's a combination of things, but I'd say it's like jazz. We're very spontaneous and just see what flows.
Just see where it goes. So it kind of creates a little sense of community is also, right? These clubs can really, when you find that we have this heart for jazz, we have the heart for whatever the club might be, and then you kind of discover friendships and discover people in the way.
That is the ultimate goal. Ron and I were just talking about that before this, how this creates community, the love of music, and to me it also creates unity.
One of the nice things about being in the village, you know, people are less mobile as they get older. Sometimes it's hard for people to drive at night.
Right.
To be able to bring the music here directly to people so that they can just come to a clubhouse that's local, it's in their backyard, and then hear great artists is what we're trying to do.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about this community. There's so many of the clubs, and it helps keep things self-contained for the folks, like you say, who really can't get out and enjoy that.
That's
and
right.
Yeah, so tell me about who's your favorite jazz artist? I want to know your favorite. You are the founder of the club. Let's hear your favorite. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, there's so many.
You're supposed to say Ron Rosenthal. That was my cue.
You know what? I love George Benson.
Yeah.
I've always loved
yeah,
George
well,
Benson.
yeah, you can't go wrong
George
there.
Benson is absolutely the ultimate.
Yes, and everybody knows he's the crossover, amazing crossover artist as well. So people, just
Yeah,
amazing stuff.
yeah.
Right.
All right, one more time, real quick. Want to put it up on the screen. We got the Castle Jazz Fusion Show coming up at Clubhouse 7. It's going to be February 15th, 6 to 8:30 p.m. $7 at the door for tickets, and you can go to the email for more information.
That's right.
That's it.
Terrific. Ron and Diane from the Jazz Lovers Club, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you for having us. It's been my pleasure.
My pleasure, too. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, you're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
No one deserves to be ashamed of their smile. MacArthur Dental Arts is here to bring back your confidence. We specialize in at-home personalized smile restoration through the power of dental implants and perfect fit dentures. I'm here to answer all your questions with free in-office consults or using our Laguna Woods in-home service special. Don't wait to get the secure, worry-free smile you deserve. Visit MacArthurDentalArts.com or call the number on your screen to schedule your consultation today.
Who is RadNet? You've probably heard our name and seen our commercials, but you still might not know who we are. RadNet is the largest provider of outpatient imaging services in the United States, with over 8,000 employees and almost 400 imaging centers in 7 states. Likely, if you have had diagnostic imaging, you have experienced RadNet's high-quality, cost-effective imaging services. With 35 years of expertise, RadNet is leading into the future with advanced technology and the very latest AI technology. We are positioned for the future of healthcare. RadNet, leading radiology forward.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From our delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Adapt to it, we strive to make the everyday tasks easier by providing our customers with the tools they need to be successful. We carefully explain the use and care of all of our equipment. Adapt to it has been in Laguna Woods for over 20 years, and we know that nothing in life stays constant. So we can help you adapt to all the changes in your life. Adapt to it sells and rents items and always delivers with a smile. Come in today to experience what we mean when we say, when you can't change it, adapt to it.
We talked about picking up after your dogs earlier in the program. Now we're going to talk about getting them vaccinated and licensed. We got an event coming up on Vaccination Day. It's Dog Licensing and Vaccination Day. It's going to be Thursday, February 1st from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. over at Clubhouse 1 in the main lounge. If your dog is in need of vaccinations, they're going to be administering them there through vet services. And if you need licensing, if your dog's license is out of date, you can do that and get the renewal there, so you don't have to go to the vet, you don't have to send it off in the mail, all those things. It's all going to be taken care of right here. Dog Club has more information on 949-228-2462. And remember, it's going to be going on 11 to 1 p.m. February 1st at Clubhouse 1 in the main lounge. So look forward to that. All right, let's take a look at another announcement while we're at it here. And we got Laguna Woods Bridge Club. They are going to be getting together at the Clubhouse 7 from 9 to 11. They're going to have a great event coming up there. It costs us $75 for this tournament. It's kind of a big deal. They were coming in a little while ago to talk to us about it. For more information, you can call 949-677-6728. Let's get one more up there before we go off to weather. The championship game is going to be February 11th, and you can go watch it at Clubhouse 5. Free to come in. Doors open at 3 p.m. Kickoff is at 3:30. You can watch on the big screen. It is a no-host bar, sorry, so you're going to have to buy your own drinks. First come, first serve on the seating. So go out there, watch the Super Bowl. If you have any questions about that, you can call the number at the bottom of the screen. The rec department is the one putting that on. So go visit them, find out more information about that. Let's take a look at our weather. We've got a couple of nice days. Today and tomorrow are the days to get out there and do whatever errands, whatever you need to do, because we got rain coming. It's going to be Thursday and part of Friday, lots and lots of rain. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. Tomorrow on the program, U.S. Senate candidate is going to be coming in talking about his candidacy, and we have Village Breeze update. They got a great photo contest. You're going to see a lot of really cool photos from the shoot they did recently in the latest issue of Village Breeze. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. Remember me? I'm the king of whoopee. And you're watching Village Television. But everybody does.